Things Motoring is owned and brought to you by CHANGECARS, South Africa's trusted online vehicle platform. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or just need advice, visit changecars.co.za.
This week on All Things Motoring, we take a drive in one of South Africa's most loved 4x4s, and we see what a decent driver on good tyres can do around the track. We chat to Sylvan Govender about electric vehicle technology. This one is not to be missed.
On the 18th of June, the first episode of All Things Motoring aired. Hard to believe that today we are filming our 13th episode, and this is the final episode. Not the final episode of All Things Motoring, but the final episode of All Things Motoring Season 1. We look so forward to what's in store for Season 2, but more of that later. What have we covered in Season 1? We've been to Durban, we've been 4x4ing, we've spoken to new car manufacturers, we've covered electric, we've covered the Motoring Museum. However, I can promise you, we have learned so much, and in Season 2, we have some super exciting stuff ahead. But let's focus on Season 1. Last week, we covered a fair share about the Festival of Motoring, and we mentioned a 3-hour show wouldn't be enough to cover what we filmed there. In this week's episode, we share a lot more with you. If ever there's a vehicle that truly epitomizes the one-size-fits-all approach, it's a Suzuki Jimny. Soft-roader, tick the box. Hardcore off-roader, definitely tick the box. Young, old, male, female. In my business, whenever you mention the Suzuki Jimny, it's always, yes, I love it. Today, we're going to be going with Marcel, an expert driver, and he's told us you don't need to be an expert driver on an off-road course in the Suzuki Jimny because it's just that good. Come join us in car for some fun. Marcel, you've been doing this the whole day. You haven't even worked up a sweat. You haven't worked up a sweat because the car's so capable?
Yeah, I was just about to say, I was chatting to the previous guys that I just dropped off, and I was like, this is one of the beauty parts about the Suzuki Jimny, is that it doesn't make you tired, the steering is nice and light, the vehicle itself is nice and light, which makes it a fantastic off-roader. And yeah, as you can see, I'm not breaking a sweat today, thank God.
The off-road ability of this is absolutely legendary. This is incredibly well respected by the buying public, respected by the 4x4 fraternity.
There we go.
And the resale values on these things, if anybody's looking to buy a Suzuki Jimny, this is as close to resale perfection that you'll get. There's a massive demand and is a decent supply, but the demand always exceeds the supply.
100%.
You can go onto any of the websites and see. If you look at a Suzuki Jimny on a Monday, by Wednesday that very vehicle will be gone. And again, to repeat, with good reason.
There you go. It is. It's just with good reason. They are selling like this. And then again, one thing also you didn't mention is with the price of petrol.
For sure.
So you have
the thing sips petrol, doesn't drink petrol.
Exactly, it literally sips the petrol, yes. And that's what we're all looking for nowadays, to be honest with you.
Marcel, a little bit about you. Can you just tell us your age, your school marks, and previous girlfriends?
No, thank you. I've been an advanced driver for, I'm going to give my age away if I tell you the years, but more than 20 years.
Yeah.
Worked for various different car manufacturers. Headed up Sub-Sahara for a particular car manufacturer at one point.
Right.
And yeah, enjoyed entirely. I'm on my own now, so I actually a independent contractor now.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is doing what you love. I mean, when somebody says to you, "What do you do for as a job?" You don't have a job.
No.
You have a recreation. You have a passion.
There 100%. We go. And now we're going to tackle the side slope, and you'll see. You know, I was showing a gentleman, this is not enough for the car, so we went a little higher.
Yeah?
Yeah, and on the grass, the road is undulated there, as you can see and feel it, but yet vehicle takes it in its
This
stride.
is incredible.
Yeah.
In terms of 4x4 systems, I see all the lights are on there, the ABS, the traction control.
Yes.
What have you got to setting it right now?
We got it in 4 low.
4 low.
And then it I would say relaxes the traction control and the ABS, just so that we can utilize it, and it does have hill descent control.
Yes.
What I want to quickly mention is you see how easy that was.
The turning circle.
Yes, and we did 5 kilometers per hour through the sand.
Unbelievable.
The rule of thumb is accelerate through the sand.
Yes.
And this, we didn't flatten the tires.
Amazing.
We didn't do any of that. And I'm still chatting to you.
Course.
So one thing I want to mention to you, Michael, as you know, also as an avid off-roader, the cross axles, everybody, the moment you get to a cross axle situation, engage the diff locks.
Yes.
Suzuki Jimny doesn't come with diff locks.
Amazing.
Yeah, this is only based on the traction control system, but this traction control system works fantastically.
Incredible.
You'll see there'll be almost zero hesitation with regards to the vehicle at the moment as we tackle this.
I mentioned that it looks effortless for you as a driver.
Yes.
Listen, you're a professional, but you look totally relaxed. This is an absolute, not even a workout. I mean,
No.
Our car is doing this.
That's it.
One wheel at all times is off the ground, possibly even 2.
Sometimes, yes.
Hey?
Yes, and we're doing this on idle, hey? I'm not accelerating through this.
What are we approaching here now?
So this is the end of our off-roading, and this is a 43-degree hill.
43-degree uphill.
Yeah, downhill.
Oh, downhill.
Downhill.
I was going to say it's like a 60-degree uphill.
Yeah, and it's quite intimidating, but I promise you this car handles it fantastically.
This is exceptional.
Yeah.
If you could see what I'm looking at, it looks like I'm at the top of a roller coaster ride. Incredible. You can hear that is superb. That's all the technology
That's it.
kicking
Yeah,
in.
there you go. That's it.
Marcel, this has been an absolute privilege. I really appreciate the effort of Suzuki. I really appreciate your personal effort.
It was my pleasure.
From the moment I walked in, the warm welcome that we've received is just impressive.
Thank you, thank you.
I mentioned that everybody loves the Suzuki Jimny. After watching this, I think even more people will love it. Gonna go for a short ad break. See you after. In the 70s, Leo Sayer had a hit with a song called I'm a One-Man Band. I'm not a one-man band. I'd like to introduce you to a personal friend of mine, Gugu Masuku. I don't think there are too many people who watch Ignition TV that don't know Gugu. Gugu, how's it going? How's the day been for you?
It's been awesome. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a cool day, man. It's been a long day, but there's so much to see, so much to do. And then I bumped into you.
Fantastic.
So Mark, the next thing, is we're going to get an opportunity to go into one of these Michelin cars. Apparently they've been developing some mad stuff on the tires and stuff. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do on the track.
I personally, as a tyre brand, have always been a Michelin fan.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that because Michelin are taking us out. I love the brand.
Lovely.
And I've spoken to the driver. He reckons he's going to give it hard for us. Awesome.
All right. So welcome to the Michelin experience. And this year at Festival, I'm not talking about cars and particularly a car brand, but more importantly about tires. And tires are, as far as I'm concerned, the most critical components on a car. Cars can be full of tech, full of amazing suspension technology, yet all of that needs to be translated onto the road, and the only way to do it is through 4 contact patches the size of my hand.
That's the thing. The actual contact patch is literally the size of your palm.
100%. And then, strangely enough, people will spend hundreds of thousands of rands on a nice new car, and they won't, well, at least when it comes to replacing tires and maintenance, then they want to skimp on it, and they don't realize that the car can only be as good as the tire. We have a lot of traffic in this session. Let's see if we can whittle our way through a Mustang and a Focus RS. Right, so at talking about tyres at the show, Michelin are launching a new tyre, Pilot Sport 5, which is part of their performance range. Right? And a lot of people look at it and go, it's a high performance tyre. It's actually not their high performance tyre, it's part of their performance range, and they've got more high performance tyres to come. Now, what this thing can do though, is give us high performance levels of grip, yet good wear. And I say that, I mean, we've been running the tyre now on 2 different cars, so we're making sure people get experience different cars. We had a BMW 3 Series and now in the Merc C-Class. And a chance to experience this tyre working in different vehicles, but to see and maximize grip and efficiency. All right, you can see as we come to the SSE, I'm going to flick the car sideways, get a bit of tyre roar, hope you can hear that.
For sure.
Right? But we're not getting that typical pig tyre squeal. And everyone associates that with speed, doesn't it? You hear tyre squeals, someone's obviously going fast. That's the exact opposite of what
You're
actually
scrubbing
happens.
off speed.
You're scrubbing off speed. You're actually out of control. The tyre is no longer able to fully control what you're doing, asking it to do. And tyres are asked to do a hell of a lot of things.
But is it fair to say that a tyre can only do one thing at a time?
No,
a tyre
absolutely
can't
not.
brake and turn at the same time.
It can. I'm now accelerating through this corner at 162 k's an hour. You can feel a little bit of grabbing on the brakes there. That's through the ESP system, which on a Mercedes you can't turn off completely. But that tyre was doing 2 things. It's coping with the lateral forces of me going through the corner and the acceleration forces at the same time. Right, so it can very much do that. They can multitask. What they can't do is just work too much. Just like a human, you cannot just
Sure.
keep loading the tyre and expecting it to always perform.
What for me is very impressive. So we are in a Merc. What engine has this got?
This is a C200, a 1.5 litre 4-cylinder.
In front of us is a 5-litre V8 Mustang, and I can confidently say he's holding us up.
He is
Is it
holding us
is it
up.
down to the Michelins?
It is, absolutely. And that's what, again, I'm going to say, people don't realize. You know, you can have the most powerful car with the most advanced suspension and then put onto I'm not going to say a cheap tyre necessarily, but a tyre that's not rated or designed to cope with it, and you're not going to achieve what the car can achieve.
You spoke about the grip and the longevity. One of the things that I've always associated Michelin with is a tyre that is comfortable, incredible grip, but also longevity. When you think of a high performance tyre, and a Michelin as a brand is associated with high performance, their wear characteristics are very, very good.
They're absolutely phenomenal.
This is superb.
We did well over 100 laps in the 3 Series on a brand new set of these Pilot Sport 5s, and they still looked brand new. They've got a new innovation of a tread wear indicator on the inside and the outside of the tyre, which will be 3 dimples, which as each dimple disappears, you go through a 25% wear cycle. So we ran that tyre for over 100 laps on the 3 Series. All 3 dimples were clearly visible, which means the tyre hadn't even used 75% of its life.
Well, look, Michelin has been around since 1889, and for our viewers, that is correct. It's not 1989, 1889, 133 years. In 133 years, you should know something about making tires, and I think it's fair to say that Michelin definitely do. This experience, this is incredible.
He's not getting away.
Everyone's amazed
He's
that
not
this
getting away.
just slap on a decent set of tyres and a bit of bravery, and you can run with the big
1500
boys.
4-cylinder versus a V8 5-litre. It's no contest. When I say it's no contest, they don't stand a chance.
No, down the straights he'll open a nice big gap on me. I don't know if you guys see, you haven't seen behind me yet, but there's a Nissan GTR has been behind me for over half a lap. Just could not get through because in the corners, I'm actually quicker than he is. You'll see I'll close the gap here through the corner. There you go, I'm catching a Nissan GTR in a family saloon.
Exceptional. Exceptional. Feel free to do another lap.
He's braking.
You've got 4 passengers.
I do. And the big thing is what people don't realize is how important tyres are under braking. Right? The brakes can be brilliant, but if the tyre can't relay that to the road to slow the vehicle down, then you're not going to slow down. That's where a good tyre also helps you dramatically in terms of braking performance. And people think tyres
That
are
is
for going
incredible.
around corners, not for braking.
And that GTR is one of the fastest road-going saloons. 3.8 litre twin turbo V6. There's pretty much nothing on the road in South Africa that will beat that in acceleration.
And as you can see, I don't have a chance down the straight, but come the corners, and I think I've got another one coming up behind me, and see if we can hold him up for a while.
Yen, what do I say other than thank you?
You're more than welcome.
I liked
hope
you
guys
before I
enjoyed
knew
that.
who you were. I like you even more now.
I'm glad you guys enjoyed that.
Now Now, straight from the racetrack, we will be testing out those Michelins in those cars to the skid pan. So this is where we lose grip. We've got ourselves 2 Chevy Luminas, 6-litre V8, and these guys are seriously skilled in going sideways.
There's 2 things that I think are fair to say concern people when it comes to electric vehicles. One is the slightly prohibitive cost at this stage, but I can assure you they are going to come down in years to come. The other is no question range anxiety. What is going to be key to the success of any e-vehicle is going to be range. I have the pleasure of chatting with Selvin Govender, Vice President of Marketing and Sales for Mercedes South Africa. Selvin, I was here yesterday at the press launch of this magnificent, but that is the only word I can use, magnificent new range. We know Audi beat you to it with the e-tron. However, after what I saw yesterday and the way the press is talking about it, Mercedes is going to catch up very quickly. Tell us about this new E-Series.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Michael. Yesterday was for us very important. It's been 3 years in the making. We plan to bring out our electric cars already in 2019.
Did Eskom hold you up?
No, actually microchips did. It was completely a chip shortage. But now it's finally here.
Yeah.
And I think the range that we brought to South Africa just caters for everybody. And it's about creating awareness. And you know, this show, the Festival Motoring, we thought was the ideal platform to really get the brand onto the right platform.
They say you only get one chance to make a first impression. When the covers came off yesterday, there was already somebody inside the car. I was in awe at the look. Because for me, that is, they always say, if you turn back when you park and you don't like what you see, you're driving the wrong car. Right now, so to speak, we're at the heart of the engine.
Absolutely.
I remember when I used to look at little model racing control, radio controlled cars, it used to look similar like this. Never in my wildest dreams did I think 20, 30 years after being a little kid would I be looking at a real pucker road car. Tell us about what we're looking at here.
100%. You're looking at the drivetrain of an electric vehicle. So you've got the axle, it could be a front wheel drive or rear wheel drive, but that's a great thing about it. The simplicity of an electric vehicle is the electric motor has not changed in 100 years. Of
course.
And that's what you're seeing. It's proven itself in every application. So you've got a simple electric motor that will never break. You've got a transmission, a very simple transmission again, not multiple gears, just
CVT type of?
Absolutely, and an engine management system. So that's the heart of this entire setup. I mean, obviously Mercedes-Benz takes it to another level with rear wheel steering, and it's able through the engine management system to shift the weight from wheel to wheel, but also you could have a four-wheel drive system.
Yeah.
In that setup, you'll have another engine over the front axle.
Incredible.
So it actually sets the power range between front and rear axle, wheel to wheel, and you as the driver just have the most amazing experience behind the wheel of an electric car.
But now if we talk about stonking performance in a petrol engine car, say 450, 500 kilowatts, 800 Newton meters of torque, that is stonking. You're looking at a 6-litre V8 engine. This engine is smaller than a 750cc motorbike engine, or roughly that size.
Absolutely.
How is the performance developed? I can't get that.
So again, electric power. The EQS AMG 53, for instance, develops 950 Newton meters of torque.
950 Newton meters.
Now you can, a lot of cars can develop 1,000, more than 1,000.
But you know about a Bugatti Veyron or
exactly,
Chiron.
but you got to get that power onto the road, because if you put 900 Newton meters onto two wheels, it'll just start spinning.
Of course.
So that's the reason you have to be in a four-wheel drive configuration. So everything that you see in an electric car is simplified, which is why your service intervals are now 2 years.
Amazing.
The amount of time you'll spend in the workshop is reduced tremendously. And the fact is that because of the configuration, you're now going to have cars that are more conducive to working with your lifestyle. Bigger cabin spaces, eventually seats that may flip around, that you can have a business meeting, self-driving cars. All of the technology is enabled through the simplicity of this design.
The only thing that makes me sad is that I'm not going to live to 150 years to see where we're going. Now, longevity. Forgetting about the batteries, there's been a lot of nonsense around the batteries. I've always believed there'll be no challenges with the batteries. Realistically, what is the kilometer life expectancy of an electric engine like this?
So, I mean, and I think this is one of the beauties of an electric engine. You think about all your electric gizmos at home. Do the electric engines ever go?
They don't.
They never do. If something goes, a little coil that's replaced.
Correct.
So you've got an engine that goes on forever. It's proven itself over hundreds of years. You've got a battery that we guaranteed from 8 to 10 years. So you actually have no anxiety about ownership either.
Selvin, it's been a pleasure chatting to you. Incredible brand. We all know the Mercedes brand, one of the most famous brands. Thank you for sharing with us your incredible passion for your brand, the incredible brand itself, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you very much, Michael. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. What is the most important thing to All Things Motoring? It's you, our fans. I'd like to invite 50 viewers to come and spend a day with us, either on the Vaal River or Hartbeespoort Dam, for a day of fun in the sun. We will spoil you, we'll take care of you, and I promise you, you will leave with a big smile on your face. Write in to info@allthingsmotoring. Tell us a little bit about yourself, why you'd like to join us, and we look forward to seeing you. Season 1, that's a wrap. Can't wait to bring you Season 2.
Now from the racetrack down there, we were testing out the Michelin tires, to the, what's this called again? Skid pad.
In the 70s, Leo Sayer had a song called, sorry, can't get it.
These guys are experts in these Chevy Luminas, and what was I going to say? What else was it?
What Mercedes have achieved with this vehicle, with a range exceeding 700,000. Selvin, I'm going to give you the opportunity to thank us.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. I mean, gosh.
Thank you.
All Things Motoring is owned and brought to you by CHANGECARS, South Africa's trusted online vehicle platform. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or just need advice, visit changecars.co.za.